And it's funny because we just were talking about Jess Hilarious a week ago, and a video did really good for us.
Mm-hmm. Every time I yell at black men, it does great.
Oh, for sure. It's part of our bread and butter.
Yeah.
But we got to get into what occurred here. So this was a crazy scene. Like, this is probably like the first time we've had primetime radio in the sense of like this was must see event that went on this morning. But it started from some beef. So first we got to get into there. One of our favorites, Mr. Corey Holcomb, woke it up. And the messed up part about this is he's just recycling material that's already been said by the likes of academics. We've even discussed it. Like, it's nothing new, but he just says it in such a way that can just really grind your gears. So.
And
Everything
now I heard about her up at the Breakfast Club.
She done got it.
Well, this is what happened at the Breakfast Club. She took that job. She got that job because I think she had a social media presence. I can't imagine why else.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
She got that job. And I always said she wasn't talented.
Been saying that for a while.
She got the job and got knocked up shortly afterwards. And the worst thing in the world happened. They brought in somebody who was talented.
Who they bring in?
Homegirl from she used to be on TMZ.
Yeah, she has experience with doing that. When she talks, her voice. I don't know her name.
Yeah.
The girl who.
That's how you know he's there to hate.
Lauren.
I don't even follow her career.
What she doing. She knows how to fit in with Charlamagne.
You can just tell right now she's just a tool to attack
DJ
Jess Hilarious.
It's like it's seamless when she there.
Right.
It's the talent. The talent shows out. And then Les Hilarious ain't even reading right. And now she had a job where all she had to do was deliver the news. She had a segment on The Breakfast Club. The other girl who has experience and talent at this job took her segment. Right. Not because she tried to, it's just you saw somebody who's talented. And then you see, read that, Les Hilarious.
And she stood in for her when she took off maternity leave.
All right, so you see, again, Corey and Jess Hilarious have had a long history of going back and forth at each other. They despise each other, for lack of a better term. And I think this is what kind of got to her because everybody's been saying this. There's been plenty of people who've been discussing this beef. Like I said, I feel like we woke it up before a lot of y'all.
Before she even got on that show, we woke it up.
No, I'm talking about we woke it up between her and Lauren too. Before a lot of people was waking it up between them. We had that discussion because remember you said you like Lauren and I said I like Jess. This was like when the election was going on. We was talking about this. So
because she seemed like an actual journalist.
Obviously, this hit a chord with Miss Jess Hilarious. I'm going to call you Jess, not Les. And she then goes to IG and says this.
Shorty is like that. Yeah. That's why I picked her to fill in for me for maternity leave.
This one says she does look nice.
Every day. I don't have no reason to fucking hate on that girl. I don't. No, I didn't like her when I came back because I'm like, all right, what's going on? What's going on? She knew it. We had a conversation. Because the anger was misplaced. Nah, it ain't even you that I don't like. I'm realizing this is the way these niggas is doing shit up here that I don't like. Okay. Got it. Now, it's her segment. I went to the person who does the intros, the sounds. I went to Taylor. Yo, Taylor, make Lauren her intro. Take Jess with the mess, all that shit. She says, things can't just change like that. Why the fuck not? Why not? Y'all changing everything else, and I'm the only one that don't know. My goofy ass don't know nothing. I'm just coming to work every day, just zippity-doo-dah-day. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, take my name out that shit. Jess with the Mess is not at Breakfast Club. I'm Jess Hilarious up here. Fuck, I'm Jessica Moore up here. Jess with the Mess is not being done. Lauren LaRosa is doing the shit. So that need to be her segment. I fought for that segment. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? While her fans and her people and the Breakfast Club people and the people in the comments, man, I'm not ready to sit up here and act like I don't see that shit. Are y'all crazy? One thing I ain't never try to do is act unbothered unless shit never bothered me. Man, what? You try coming back to work. You try to come back to work. And the motherfucker is right there at your desk. And ain't nobody telling you shit, mind you. Nobody telling you nothing, mind you.
So she goes on to kind of just explain like her she was disheartened with the fact that she didn't feel like she was getting a lot of support, and that there were some other things we'll add on to in just a moment. I want to make sure we kind of give a general view of the story. So then tensions erupt on the Breakfast Club. Everybody was waiting for this. We were anticipating, was she going to return? Was she going to be on the show? How were they going to handle this?
What you mean we don't have your back?
I have more.
Break that down. Explain how we don't have your back.
Okay, all right. So the narrative, like I said, with the online ish, that's what I said. Y'all ain't nobody trying to clear up no narrative about nothing. Ever since I came back, it was weird. Yes, it was weird. Yeah, I at first, no, I did not. I wasn't too fond of Lauren. Nah, I wasn't too fond of her when I came back, because we had a whole plan. Even how when I came back, how I picked her to fill in for me, right? I come back, she ain't never leave. Then, all right, cool that she don't leave, but she's on only during my segment. If she was meant to be a fourth host, move her in another way. Why she got to be moved in on? Because nobody had a problem with Jess with the mess until she started reading right. You know what I mean? Till she started reporting. I wasn't hired as a reporter.
See, that's
I was
a
hired
good
as
joke.
Jess with the mess. So she started reading and delivering details and all that stuff.
Yes.
Then that's when Jess with the mess wasn't good enough no more. That's how it was presented. So I'm like, all right,
we
cool.
realized you was a
I
little.
Who said that? Because the internet said
What
that?
are we talking about? No. This is our listeners. This is yeah. Why can't we worry about the comments? And these are people that enjoy the show and watch the show. It's not all about Instagram. It's YouTube. It's like we have people that have been watching the show. Yeah, she's great at what she do. That's why I picked her to fill in for me. But when I came back, it's like, what's going on? If she's gonna be a fourth voice, why she only got to be a fourth voice
correct me if
on
I'm
my
wrong.
segment?
She wasn't a fourth voice. She was a producer. She was hired as a news producer to help with getting all news and doing interviews.
She was going to be the senior news producer.
She wasn't on there. When you came back, Lauren was not on there. She was in the back doing questions, sending interview questions, reporting the news. Am I lying?
I thought
Yeah,
you was.
you
I
lying.
thought,
She on air. She was on air.
They told her don't step in this room.
yes, but I thought you was using her on purpose.
What? You thought I was using Lauren?
So that kind of gets to a point where Jess ends up in tears. She ends up starting crying.
About what?
Just about the emotions of everything getting to her.
Yeah.
Like, so everything kind of just was getting a lot, and she ends up crying on the show. So that's when Lauren comes on the show, and they kind of have her sit down and talk.
In real time, that be quiet. That was crazy. The shut up. I was like, oh, okay, because what we really giving up here? Like, what's up?
Okay,
right?
But
I didn't.
None of that was said.
I
You didn't say anything about that.
And then when I pulled you into the office with our EP with Eddie, the first thing I said to you was, Jess, we fighting for airtime and it shouldn't be like that. I want to know what can I do better as a producer? What can we do better as the two women sitting right here next to each other to make sure that don't happen, because it doesn't look good. It's not going to play well for either one of us.
I literally swear to God, I don't even remember you saying that.
And that's exactly why I had Eddie in the room, or EP,
I don't
to have
understand.
the
I never
conversation.
ever heard that.
Because
you've pulled me to the side a few times to ask me, are you okay? How do you feel like about the stories and things like that? You've never said what you just said to me. Now listen. I have said, hush, shut up. Like, yo, you overtalk. And like I said, I'm not about to be up here fighting for no mic. Like, I'm not doing that. If I already got the job, like, what am I doing? Like, I'm not. It's four voices. Three of us are very opinionated. You know what I mean? Me, you, and Charlamagne. I'm not saying Envy don't got no opinion, but he don't jump in every single time there's dead air. You know what I'm saying? When you overtalk. And it's like the only time you can quiet down is if somebody be like, shut up or hush.
My mom don't even tell me shut up, Jess. I'm a grown-ass woman.
And I understand. You could have said that on air right then and there. Or right after when you saying you put me in the office. You never put me nowhere to tell me that.
Because the way that I do things when it comes to my job and my career, that's not what we on. And I told you from the jump, I was never going to give that to you. Ever.
Okay.
And I did I not? Our first conversation, I said, if I ever have an issue with you, I'm going to handle it in the way where we can get through a conversation, because we grown. And regardless, you don't got to love me. You don't got to like me. But we here together. I'm here.
And listen, like I said earlier, the internet loves mess.
Yes, you are
and,
here.
And one of the easiest ways to create mess is to pit women against each other.
And you're here because of an opportunity that I extended.
So I think that's a good part to stand on because Charlamagne is so full of it right there. Mm-hmm. So I want to just touch on this because there's a lot of different angles to kind of address with this because you can kind of see where she felt like she was blindsided, but there might be good reason why they may have, I wouldn't say good reason, I would say legitimate reason why that happened. But I want to say something what Charlamagne said. Charlamagne talking about putting two women together. So if you go back and listen to the IG of Jess Hilarious, when she's talking, she made a point to say, she told Charlamagne about the incident of the shut up and hush, and she was saying she'll cool out on it. Charlamagne tells her, and this is what she says, Charlamagne tells her, no, keep doing that because that's going to build the story. Mm-hmm. So this already shows me that I'm not saying this is staged like they did last time with her arrival when we got played. But I do think this is heavily involved Charlamagne manipulating these women and allowing this to play out because he knew this would eventually reach to this kind of peak.
He wanted to make it more salacious on purpose.
Because if you listen to the when they had the conversation, Envy and her are both gaslighting her. They're not understanding when you're dealing with a lady like this, and I'm not trying to get into my bag or whatever, but
that's exactly what you're going to do.
Yes, ma'am. So because when you're dealing with a lady like this, she is going to feel entitled to your protection. And what that means, if someone like a Corey Holcomb, we already
know how you feel about protecting black women.
I mean, it just comes at a cost.
Puh.
I'm just saying, it just
black
comes,
bitch.
It comes at an exchange.
That's you.
But that's fucked up. But but no, it's going to come at, she's going to feel like if you don't address Corey, if you don't address DJ Academics, you are on their side. That is exactly how she's going to put that. So that's what made her really get emotional about it because they're saying, oh, you worried about all these outside noises, all this stuff. And she's like, yeah, y'all supposed to be my niggas. When I'm around guys, they protect me in that manner. They don't let other men talk trash about me like that, even if we're in the same industry. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, y'all are acting really doofy when y'all don't know who this girl is. Y'all been working with her for quite some time before she even was official on the show. Y'all wanted her on here. Y'all know who y'all dealing with. So that's the shit that was getting me really annoyed listening to Charlamagne and all them because, well, it wasn't really Charlamagne. It's basically Envy because Envy know what Charlamagne doing, but he trying to play into making Jess feel like she crazy because she's reacting to probably the most attention she's ever gotten in her career.
There's a reason Angela left.
Oh, for sure.
Like, and I feel like Jess is kind of experiencing that in like the beginning of her relationship with the Breakfast Club. And I think that's what's happening right now. I wanted to ask you, in a professional setting like this though, do you think that like your coworkers, you're entitled to your coworkers' protection? Because it's a professional setting. This is a different type of professional setting.
Yeah, but the protection is in a different way because it's like if a story comes out and not talking about it in a bad way, like that's a level of protection. Do I feel like there may have been a required statement from Envy or Charlamagne? No, because they don't have the history of that. Even with when Angela was on there and Charlamagne did the interview with Gucci Mane.
And he pressed her right there. They just sat there.
Well, I'm talking about the second interview when after the pressing, when he came up to the show, it was secondary. Him and them did together, and he talked trash about Angela.
He didn't come to the second one, right?
It was just Charlamagne.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like they showed that already, where Charlamagne is not going to go out of his way, especially with people who he feels like there's a valuable interview or moment to be made.
No, they're definitely there for the moment, and they've been on air and that's successful for that long because of the fact that dramatic shit happens at the Breakfast Club all the time, more than like your regular radio show.
And I think Charlamagne has to play a big part into this because not only did you advocate for Jess in a real way, you knew what was going to go on when Lauren LaRosa got on there, started kicking butt. And y'all don't give her any kind of plan, any kind of understanding of what's moving forward. She's in the dark for the most part.
And then as if I was Jess, not even like I picked her, it's fine. It's okay if it's not even okay if she's still there. If I show back up, right, and my replacement, quote unquote, is there but in a producer role, I'm gonna feel intimidated. I'm gonna be like, what's going on here? If nobody talks to me about anything, now she's in a position of kind of like power, right, in this in this situation, and I know that she wants my spot.
I mean, she auditioned as well.
Yeah.
So you for 100% no. 100%.
So now you have somebody behind the glass that wants to take my seat and has already done better than me in my seat. It's an emotional situation. I'm not surprised that she got emotional and started crying during the show. Plus postpartum, all that plays into it.
You know, that's why I wanted to kind of get into playing into Jess's kind of psyche into this a little bit, because you do have, like you said, the postpartum that she could definitely be going through. We definitely don't want to take away from that. But we also got to go into some of the stuff that she said in that IG again. She said she had that child on purpose.
Did she say that?
Yeah. She said she had, not when I say on purpose, I'm not saying she said it like to spite the company, but she knew that she was planning on having a child around the same time she signed that contract.
Okay.
So she had that idea. Now, again, this is my theory, my speculation, but if she didn't tell iHeart that, or they weren't aware that pre-signing her, I can see a world where now we're not involving you in stuff anymore because you blindsided us. We're going to blindside you when you come back.
That is technically illegal in very much discrimination, though. You can't not hire somebody who is the best candidate for the job just because they're gonna get pregnant soon, or if they're gonna be on maternity leave.
Oh, no, nobody's saying that. This is what it's not about anything with her in the beginning of it. It's just retaliatory behavior, which could happen.
Yeah.
And again, that's also legal, but it's harder to prove in this manner because, one, you haven't been there long enough to establish a regular proceeding. So because she was in and out, you can't really say like, oh, well, this is how we were doing, when it's like you weren't even here 6 months, a consistent 6 months for us to establish a routine.
Yeah.
So you can't say that us keeping you out the loop is out of the routine because you haven't seen how things have progressed.
You've never had a routine here.
Again. So I think that's a large part that she kind of has to play into herself, because she did kind of push herself into a bad position. She even said she selected Lauren to replace her.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking in my mind, this is what she's thinking. Me and her are completely different. So regardless, when I come back, I'm automatically going to bring something that she just can't even create because I have humor in my creativity.
Yeah. They're going to be missing something with her in my chair and when I'm gone.
And what happened was when she got back, they put her in Laura's realm, making her do things more so that she's not really comfortable with. And then it turns out looking embarrassing for her, even though there's a world where there's money in it. There's a market for that because people want to make fun of her. People want to engage with the content. And now, as she stated up there on there, she's like, my reputation is being looked at a certain kind of way.
That she can't read.
Yeah, that can hurt you. That can stop you from getting some roles, man.
Like, you
gotta read scripts.
I'll say this again though. On that show she did with Lil Rel, somehow she was the best actress. She not the best actress, but her performance was better than Rel's, and he's an actor. So I'm gonna keep saying that. I'm gonna give her that flower every time.
But I just see that again. It kind of came through where it did end up looking like how she said this was high school. But they had to have this conversation on the air.
Yeah, no, it was really good content for them to have that conversation on air.
Yeah, and I think the way that it ended too, like it was kind of you kind of see where it's like they have an understanding now. What I see it looks like now is they feel like we found roles. Jess, you the little sister that's going to do and say crazy stuff, and we all going to kind of check you in a particular kind of way, and still try to big you up and help you through your growth. But Lauren is the big sister. Envy the funny, the uncle, and that's his, Charlamagne, his brother, is the crazy uncle, or the grandpa who's saying crazy shit.
Grandpa with dementia that be drinking too much.
So then you had that kind of now you have that little dynamic between all of them, and now you can kind of hope that maybe they don't step on each other's toes a little bit more, and they can kind of, because I think in the long run, I don't think they want to get rid of Jess, especially how this day was. I can imagine they feel like, if we can keep some type of tension or storyline going, we can make these regular occurrences where we have like little moments where they just powwow about what's, what the tension is, because it's a good model for other podcasts. Other podcasts have been doing that.
Yeah.